Well, hello there, people. Welcome to another episode of what I'm calling Let's Talk. I've done this once before with Combat Pack 2, and I figured it's about damn time that I did it again. This time with the hypothetical Combat Pack 3. Now, you've been hearing all of the polls and everything, so I'm just going to be knocking out as many of these points as possible. Phone, I will get to you in a minute. And we will be talking, well, all kinds of kooky stuff. We'll be talking why certain characters won't make it in, what kind of limits there could be, why they do certain characters. You get the idea. So first I'm going to pop open my notes. Alright. So for example, there was an article that was leaked not too long ago called Mortal Kombat X, Combat Pack 3 playable characters to include Baraka, Rain, and Sindel. That is from MovieNewsGuide.com. I will try my best to link it in, but I have a horrible tendency to forget this kind of stuff. You'll be hearing some fights in the background, but whatever. This is the important bit, me talking in a Alex Mercer shirt with a tweed jacket. My fashion sense isn't that great. Anyway, I looked into this a little bit further and found notes that included, maybe they'll be including the Joker into Mortal Kombat X. I don't need to repeat that for you to know how ridiculous that is. First, let me have a drink out of my flask. This is just my Sunday best. Anywho, back on track. So, with this in mind, a couple of notes that we know about the Combat Pack 2. Or every Combat Pack that have been released, 1 and 2. There's always been 2 guests and 2 classic characters. Or Mortal Kombat characters, we'll say. And Combat Pack 1 had Jason and the Predator, and Combat Pack 2 had Leatherface and Alien. Honestly, I'm not too sure where they could go from here. I mean, they could go Spawn. Spawn makes sense. And Todd McFarlane actually did say that he was allowing NetherRealm Studios to work with Spawn, so maybe we'll be seeing Spawn. And while Spawn and the Joker would work, sort of, I mean, you gotta think though. Do you remember the last time Mortal Kombat and DC kind of crossed paths that wasn't Injustice? It wasn't good. The fatalities were an utter joke. And I don't mean that in a funny way. It was awful. The fatalities were pathetic. No spine rips even? Come on. This is because DC is one of those companies that is super sensitive about their properties. If they don't want their properties to die, then damn it, they're not dying in brutal ways. Even with a silly thing like Mortal Kombat. I mean, one of Sub-Zero's fatalities in the game was he literally would freeze a guy and then boot him and shatter him. What? That's so stupid. But of all the characters in the DC universe that could work, Joker is the one that makes the most amount of sense. What I mean about that is he is a psychopathic killer. He's fucked up. He will do horrible things to kill people. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would like to see the Joker dead in some horribly brutal ways. And I mean, okay, Joker makes it in, alright, but that's not gonna happen. I'm willing to put all my chips on and say that Mortal Kombat X will not have any DC character ever. Which brings me to my next point, which was another character that probably won't be in Combat Pack 2, unfortunately, will be Baraka. Why? Alien's already a thing. Now, sure, the counter-argument would be, well, Cassie Cage is a thing, and both of her parents are a thing. How come Baraka can't be a thing? And I got a message for a thing. I'll check that later. Well, here's the thing. Baraka isn't exactly a variable character. He's a big, stupid brute. Let's be honest here. He's not very bright, and his fighting style is very savage. He's a Tarkatan. So is the Alien. His defining feature, the Tarkatan blades, Alien's got them too. Sure, in what was it, Mortal Kombat 4, he had a razor cane, which is basically a... Be quiet, phone. Which was basically a stick with a hook on the end of it. And maybe that could make a return, but that's only 2 variations. What the hell could the 3rd variation be? Like, or what could the 2nd and 3rd variations be? Baraka, he's a hard character to figure out the variations for. So, I mean, he could be a thing, but I'm not putting a lot of bets on it. When I say that it's not going to happen, what I mean is the probability is he's not going to happen. Like Baraka, there's like a 95% chance he will not be in Combat Pack 3. Likely so too with the Joker. But I always leave a little grain of it's possible because fucking Leatherface made it into Combat Pack 2, and he's just a crazy Texan hick with a leather face and a fucking chainsaw. And he's in with Jason Voorhees, Alien the Predator, and Mortal Kombat characters like fucking Raiden. But I digress. The next point is, like I said, there's always been 4 characters, 2 guests and 2 Mortal Kombat characters. Unless they're flipping the switch here, I do not see there being any change in this. I certainly don't see them throwing in less Mortal Kombat characters. 3 Mortal Kombat characters in Combat Pack 3, that'd be dumb. That'd be stupid. They're gonna throw in a 4th. They have to. But who can make it in? Do you remember the polls from a couple of months ago, or a month or so ago? Do you remember who won in both of those polls? Jade won the female poll. I believe it was 35%? She won with about 35% of the vote. Noob Saibot won with like 45% of the vote. He won with almost half of the votes. And Combat Pack 3 obviously won the polls between KP3, MK11, and the Shaolin Monk sequel, which that made me do a double take because, really? Shaolin Monk sequel? Hey, I'm all for it. It's just really kind of out of a left field thing, and apologies for the spamming of the thing I was trying to do with brutality, but whatever. So the thing about that is that who else is gonna make it in? We got 2 characters, Jade and Noob Saibot. Those are the classics, but I don't think NetherRealm's gonna be able to fit any more guests. They're gonna have to really stretch it in order to be able to fit. I mean, like I said, the 2 most likely candidates are Spawn and that motherfucker over there, the Joker. And I seriously don't think that DC's going to fit him in with this guy. Although that would be a pretty sweet crossover, I will admit. So, what about the other option? Why don't we get 5? Yes, 5 Mortal Kombat characters in Combat Pack 3. Sounds a little bit ridiculous, right? Well, they have to stop at some point. And I figure one final hurrah with 5 different characters would be pretty good. And why do I say 5? Well, let's talk about Rain. Purple Rain. I only want to see you bathing in the purple rain. Yes, I made a Prince reference because, for those who don't know, Rain himself is actually a Prince reference. He is ripped straight out of Purple Rain because he wears purple, he controls water, and his name is Rain. Oh, and he's a prince, tying him back to Prince. Now, unfortunately, a couple of months ago, Prince, the singer, kicked the bucket at the age of 58. So that was not good. When Ed Boon was clearly devastated. He's a huge Prince fan, if you didn't know. Why do you think he made Rain such a huge Prince joke? But I'm willing to bet that if they're going to go with more Mortal Kombat characters than guest characters, I am almost guaranteeing you guys that Rain's going to make it in. He has to. He's probably one of Ed Boon's favorite characters outside of Scorpion over there, over my shoulder. And because he's a Prince joke. So what better way to give tribute to one of your favorite artists of all time than to say, fuck it, I'm going to take the character that I made as kind of a joke about him and put him in the game. I don't see what's wrong with that. And to the people that are saying, oh, come on, Jade's not going to be a thing because of Mournful Katana. I can counter that one with Cassie Cage because unlike Baraka, you can do Jade variations. You can do Jade variations because one, Katana and Jade are both Edenian, and they were trained under Shao Kahn as assassins. There's bound to be something that can be used there. Maybe one variation has Jade using her ability to walk right through projectiles. Remember that in MK9 is a special move? That used to be a thing that was just her all the time in MK2. They wouldn't go that far, I imagine, but making the phase through projectiles a special move, that would make sense. As a variation. Her staff can be different too. Her staff in Mortal Kombat Deception, for example, was a lot more like a kind of a stabbing weapon than a swiping weapon, like what Kitana uses for Jade's staff, and what Jade used in Mortal Kombat 9. So it would make sense that they would go kind of like Tanya. Tanya got a Naginata, which was a little bit strange. She never had a Naginata. She had those, she has the Kobujutsu variation. She has the Tonfas. There we go, that's the word I was looking for. Kind of strange that both of the Edenian playable characters got staff-like weapons. I'm just saying, it could be very possible that we'll be getting a third one that does the same thing. Another one that's very popular is Sindel. So, I believe Sindel actually placed second in the poll behind Jade. So it's like, if I remember correctly, it was Jade, Sindel, Scarlet, and Serena. I know Scarlet was in dead last. I personally voted for Scarlet. But I'm fairly certain that Sindel was second, and Jade was definitely in first place. But I think Sindel was second. You guys can say, oh, no, it's totally wrong, and correct me on that. I'd love to be corrected. What other points is there? Who else will make it in Combat Pack 3? Yeah, I just made that point. Yeah. Oh, that's another one. Repeated guests, or repeated DLC. Now, Ed Boon has stated in the past that he wouldn't want to do repeated DLC, but come on, how many of the promises that Ed Boon has made for Mortal Kombat X have actually come into fruition? At least right at the start. With over 150? Yeah, 150 new, with 150 different brutalities, they broke that goal. There was something that was bugging me. Oh, that's what it was. Ed Boon said that Mortal Kombat X would have the most new characters in Mortal Kombat history. Now, I know sometimes game devs get all fuckered up and switch things and whatnot. So, I actually had a list on my computer to figure out who was right, if that was actually the case. Now, when Mortal Kombat X came out, it had 8 new characters. Aaron Black, Cassie Cage, Kung Jin, Takeda, Jackie Briggs, Kotal Khan, Ferrator, and Devora. That's 8 characters. Deadly Alliance had 10. Yeah. That's not counting guests, by the way. I didn't count guests for that because, well, shit. If you're counting guests, then yes, but nobody really counts them as actual characters for Mortal Kombat because they don't belong in the universe, you know what I mean? So that's why I didn't count them. So that promise ended up falling through, so I'm just saying it's not entirely impossible for some repeats to happen. Could Freddy Krueger come back? Hey, he's owned by Warner Brothers. His variations could be pretty cool too. Certain dream-based abilities or more. Maybe there's a variation that's like Mortal Kombat 9 where he has 2 gauntlets instead of just 1, because they were certainly better with keeping to the one-handed theme with Kung Jin's bow staff, and a lot of the characters in the game throw projectiles with one hand. Sub-Zero, Reptile, Raiden. Quan Chi actually throws it through his head, so I'm just saying Freddy's not impossible. He's actually more likely than Joker and Baraka, which, I mean, it's kind of shitty for Baraka, but hey, for Joker, it's good that he's more likely than Joker. Doesn't mean that it's impossible, by the way. Thank you for watching this super long 14-minute rambling thing. Boom! What did you guys think? Do you guys have any comments that you want to say? I thank you again for watching this all the way through. Don't forget to be awesome, guys. I'll see you guys later.